Yeah, so it was a couple of years of just fumbling around because I got into the PPC, Google Ads. That was doing very well, but it slowly started like not. It got worse and worse as competition. I feel like I kind of got into the Google Ads at the early onset before it was really as famous as it is now. And so I started testing Facebook ads. That went really well. So I moved into Facebook ads, but then the iOS update came out and just destroyed our Facebook ads. I was like this close to quitting. And all of a sudden I get a contract and slowly but surely built back up over a couple months. And ever since then, it's been just really well.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Eli Goodman, is a cash buyer in Illinois in the Chicagoland market, wholesaler, licensed agent, flipper, now focused on wholesaling. Eli, welcome to the show.
Hey, Dylan. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on here. I always like to start off at the top of these shows by asking guests how they got into real estate.
Yeah, it was definitely not on purpose. Kind of stumbled into it. At the time, I was doing personal training and I was just burnt out of waking up at 5:30 a.m. for canceled appointments, running all over the city all day, and basically just realizing that I was trading time for dollars, which was great when you were 20 years old. I was making decent money, but I realized that that was not going to be my future. At the time, a friend of mine, he was interested in becoming a real estate agent, and he would be on YouTube all day just learning how to be a real estate agent, preparing for his test. And one day he sees someone with a Lambo and a check in front of Chase Bank, buys a course, quits his job, gets a sports car, and goes broke. And I thought it'd be a good idea to get started in this as well. So I said, hey, I've got some business experience running my personal training thing. How about I use that money I have, that experience I have, run the business operation of it while you do the real estate operation? As I'm sure most of you guessed, that did not go well. We went for about 8 months, got our first deal, and I ended up leaving him and working for a fix and flipper for about 6 months, I'd say. Did a couple deals with him. And then at the end of 2019, I said, I'm just going to take the jump and hope that it works. Quit personal training and went full time, and been doing that for the last, I guess, 6 years now.
So you got in 2019. Wholesale at that point in time was tremendous. From what I understand, I was not in at that point. I got in around 2023. Walk me through what the day-to-day was like at that point in time, the kind of deals that you were coming across, and then also just what the market was like and what the landscape was like in the wholesale space.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really answer to a lot of that because at the time I was really just learning like what is this real estate thing? Like how do I comp? Like I knew nothing. So that was really my main focus, is like learning how to comp, learning how to run repairs and making offers. And that was my day to day. I'd wake up, I'd do my clients, I'd have some odds and end jobs. just to make as much money as possible because all my money would come in.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And as soon as it come in, go into the business and just go into marketing and just get burnt up, right? Dollar in, dollar out. So that was a lot of my day. Just wake up, try to find ways to make money, put that money into the business, spend some time working on the business and learning the day to day. And then when I went to work for that flipper, I was cold calling, I was visiting sellers, um, and just trying to figure this thing out for those first couple of years.
So, first couple of years, you mentioned really getting the foundation of the business, understanding how to comp, understanding, lead flow, how leads come, but you're also seeing, you'll hit a lick, especially, wholesale assignments, right? But then you have to sometimes make that money last. At the same point in time, you either have to put in massive effort and time in order to generate some of these leads, or you have to pay for leads, right? So after those first couple years, you're starting to roll. What was the scaling of the business like? And did you identify a niche that was a good lead source for you?
Yeah. So when we first started, we were really just figuring out, I was figuring out what is this thing and then as well as on the business operations side, how are we going to generate consistent leads, right? So we said, okay, let's do what everyone's doing, the mailers. Did a couple mailers, didn't really get anything. Tried Facebook ads, doing JV deals. And one day we get someone sends my partner this email, and it's one of those scammy looking webinars where there's no face and they just spend an hour slow pitching you something. And at the end, they say, give us $1,000 and we'll set up your Google Ads account. And we decided we have nothing to lose. Let's just do it. We put that, we give them $1,000. A week later, we have our first contract and we closed $18,000. We had to JV with someone. Then my partner split with me. So I was just about break even at that point. So that was really what we're doing, trying to figure that out. And then when I went to work for this other guy, the same thing. Our first two deals, we did one auction deal, and then the other two were I think they were from Google, whether that was organic search or a paid lead. And when in 2020, when I went full time, I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into Google pay-per-click. And I've been up and down with Google for a while, but I've settled as of now. That's been my lead source that I've been using for years, my main lead
So
source.
when I want to walk through that $1,000 course or service that ended up being really fruitful, right? So you said, "Hey, let's put $1,000 into this." At that point in time, did you know or have familiarity with other flippers, wholesalers are buying leads, and that hey, this might be something that we should do? And were you looking at pay per click versus other lead sources as well, or were you somewhat sold on hey, we need to get into Google Ads?
No, we were literally just throwing money at whatever came across us until we figured out what could get us good leads.
And
So it was
so
just we hear Facebook ads, we put money to Facebook ads and just giving everything a shot until we figured it out.
I want to walk through that first deal, right? So you mentioned $18,000 assignment fee, right? Um, that first deal, Google Ad Services, someone called in, texted in, emailed in. How'd they get a hold of you?
I don't remember. At the time I was not managing leads. My guess would be they either, they went to our website, made a phone call or submitted a form and my partner kind of handled it. We kind of knew at the time that it was a good deal, or he knew at the time because he was good friends with like one of the top brokers in the city. So he called him and the guy was like, yeah, that asking price of the seller wanted 90,000. He said 90,000, that's a deal. You just had to negotiate your assignment fee now. So He will spend all night. He literally stayed up all night before his appointment, just preparing for that appointment.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Comps, repair estimates, negotiation tactics, everything. Um, and so yeah, we were just working that one lead.
And the buy side, so you acquired it, you had to disposition it at that point in time. Did you have investors lined up for that deal? Did you have to blast that out to a network that you had? How did you find someone quickly to purchase the deal?
Yeah, so while I was running around doing personal training and odd jobs to make money, learning about real estate, trying to generate leads, building out our social media, we were also going to networking events and meeting with cash buyers. So we get this great deal under contract and we go, great, easy 17 or $18,000 spread. All we got to do is call our buyers list and, sell it to someone. Call our buyers list. None of them want it. They send a couple people over. None of them want it. And we end up JVing with, I'm not sure if you know him, Fernando Ingalucci. He doesn't do single family, but at the time we gave him a call and he sent someone out there the next day and they showed up with a $5,000 earnest money check and we closed a few weeks later.
Wow. Wow. So that was the first deal, right? After that first deal, then did you start basically, pouring money into that Google ads lead source? And you mentioned it was up and down. How did you fine tune it over time to have some consistency there?
Yeah. So, I mean, as soon as I got my check, we had to split it with him and then I had to split the rest with my partner. I look at it and I go, hey, we spent $1,000 on Google ads. We spent $1,000 for these guys to set it up. That's a $2,000 investment with an $18,000 ROI. I'm about to be rich, right? That's my thought. So I just put all of it into Google ads. I say, let's go all in. Let's just put as much money as we can, pump out these leads, and I'll focus on getting those buyers. Cause I'm looking at this and I go, man, we just lost 50% of our revenue. We can't keep doing this. So I'm going to focus on this buyers list while my partner can focus on the sellers. And let's just do this. If $1,000 investment grants us $18,000, let's put 5,000 into it. Unfortunately, my partner did not have that same mentality. He was just not focused on the business and we would generate leads and he just was not following up with them, not making offers, which is when I then had to leave. And I left the company and all I took with me was a Google ads. I left him everything. And now I have a problem because I don't know everything. I can't talk to sellers. I can't negotiate. I have nothing. So I went to go work for this fix and flip and I said, okay, let me just put this business on the back end. Let me learn the real estate business. And then once I have some more cash saved up, once I have cash saved up, once I know this business, let me start again, or let me integrate with him, whatever that looks like. But I just need some time to learn this business.
What time period was that? Sounds like maybe 2022, 2023 timeframe, somewhere around there.
So I started with him July of 2018. We came up with this idea right around July 4th. We worked together until about June of 2019. And then, so we were together for about a year. And when I went to work for that fix and flipper, June, July time, and I
Okay.
worked with that flipper until December. So 6 months of full time, 6 months till I went full time for him.
Okay. So actually, it was pretty substantial learning curve. It could have been years, but you condense it down into a couple months with the partner, learns, lead acquisition, and then you say, okay, I really got to understand the foundations, how to negotiate, how to do a lot of these uh, y- pivotal parts of the deal in order to be able to take it from the cradle to the grave. So now you've worked for the flipper. Now you're on your own effectively. What was it like first couple months, first year on your own?
Absolutely terrible. Um, so I had 2019, I go, or 2020, I save up a couple $1,000s because right, I had sunk all my money into this business.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Then I went to work for this fix and flipper, and I'm 100% on commission. So if I don't close a deal, I don't make any money. So for that 6 months, I had some money from personal training, but I was just saving up that money. And then I go, okay, I'm going to start this business. I got $3,000, $4,000. I'm going to get a 0% APR credit card. So I got another $4,000 for 1 year, and I'm just going to put into Google Ads. So I get started right around mid-February 2020, and COVID happens a month, and I end up moving out of my parents' house. So the first year and a half, I'm still living with my parents. I got no expenses. I move out of my parents' house, and COVID hits. And while a lot of people listening in hindsight have said, well, that was a great time to be in real estate. It was actually both good and bad, because in the beginning of COVID, everyone thought, rightfully so, that we're about to have a market correction and it's terrible, don't buy. A lot of sellers everyone was just kind of frozen in place. And that happened, but I still got my first deal. And for the first year or two, it was just kind of like figuring it out, fine tuning things, and just living wholesale deal to wholesale deal, really.
I've been there. I know exactly what that's like. The rush is great, but then you got to find the next one. Um, did you have a pivot after that? How did you stabilize after that period of time?
Yeah, so it was a couple of years of just fumbling around because I got into the PPC, Google Ads, that was doing very well, but it slowly started like not, it got worse and worse as competition. I feel like I kind of got into the Google Ads at the early onset before it was really as famous as it is now. And so I started testing Facebook ads. That went really well. So I moved into Facebook ads, but then the iOS update came out and just destroyed our Facebook ads. Tried some cold calling. So I sprinted around a little bit. And then about 2 years ago, I was on YouTube and I saw some guy who runs a PPC campaign, PPC company, and he posted some random video about YouTube, about real estate, and I watched it, and I just went down this rabbit hole, watched all his videos, booked a call, and hired them to run my PPC campaigns. And right away I could tell that something was different here. I could tell the lead quality was better, more consistent. They were able to, I was just kind of running Google Ads without any knowledge of it. I was just kind of like, I paid this guy a couple years ago $1,000. They set up my Google ad campaign, just run the ads, do it how I want to. But they were there to kind of tweak me through it of like, hey, we need to tweak these ads. We need to upgrade your campaigns, upgrade your website speeds, all these different things. And right away I could tell things were different. But I also got started with them at a terrible time where I had a number of rentals that went wrong. There was like a raccoon that broke into one of my rentals. One of my rentals was vacant for 6 months. My car hit something and I need to repair my car a couple grand. And even though they were doing really well, it still took me 3 months. And I was like this close to quitting. And all of a sudden I get a contract and slowly but surely built back up over a couple months. And ever since then, it's been just really well.
I think it's beneficial for our audience to hear the full spectrum of this, because when we talk about, early partnerships not working out, then pouring money into ads, and then not having the system, and then finding the right people, but then, you know, things outside of real estate happen, it just becomes difficult. It's nice to hear the whole perspective, the kind of unfiltered truth, because it is a long haul. Like if you take a look at any one of those steps, you probably could have stopped and said, hey, I'm going to go do something else. But each step of the way, you had faith and you stayed in it the long haul. Was there something, even during those tough times, that was keeping you in it? Did you just have internal belief that it would work out, or you just love real estate? What was the idea? Hey, I'm going to keep through this.
That's a good question. I think in the beginning, those first year or two, when I was still part-time, there was just something in me that wanted to get into this real estate thing, and I saw a way of making a lot of money. I would say right now there's going to be, there's a lot going on right now because there's a lot going on too right now that's making it tough. And a lot of it is just like I have to. I have no backup option. Like I didn't get a college degree, so if this fails, like I don't even know what I would do. So that's gonna be part of it. But there's another thing at this point where I look at it and I go, okay, like I've been through these ups and downs a couple times. I know what to do. It's still tough, but I know that I can just ride this out.
I mean, that perspective is really nice to hear, because there's a lot of folks who look at this and say, okay, well, I didn't do it in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and I can't find my first deal, and they kind of throw in the towel. But this is not a 3, 6 month or 9 month type of game. I know people in the multifamily side who have massive portfolios but haven't successfully closed a deal in more than a year because they're so selective at what they're looking at. So oftentimes in the single family space, we tend to say, hey, let's just get something under contract. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. But also, too, you can lose money that way as well. So I think hearing your perspective is beneficial to folks who may just be starting out. I do want to ask your feedback on that front for folks who may be starting out or who may have a job. Um, they may work for the city, they may work for the government, whatever it is, teacher, and they're thinking, well, how do I get started in real estate? I've heard mailers, I've heard pay per click. I don't know if I can do this part time. I don't know if I should go rentals. Do you have any feedback for folks who may be on that side of the game, just getting started and trying to figure out where to jump in at?
As far as like what part of real estate to jump in at? Yeah, that's an interesting question, and there's really no specific answer. Each person has to sit down and ask, what they truly want. Like, you have to sit down with yourself in a quiet room and a pen and paper, or with your spouse or family or friends or whoever that person is that really knows you, and ask yourselves questions. Because if you're a doctor and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and you say, I hate this, I want to get into real estate, wholesaling is probably not the solution for you. You're just trading a high paying job for a potentially higher paying job. But wholesaling is a job at the end of the day. Until you can really build this out, then it can become a business. But that's tough. Um, and maybe you're just better off, working for a couple years and using that money to buy some multifamily and just kind of scaling from there. So you have to ask yourself, like, what are your goals and where do you fit in? Like maybe you're a doctor and you go, I want to start a big wholesaling business. Like I will sit down and put my face to the grindstone and just grind it out. Then go for it. But similarly, if you're, maybe like a small, you're an accountant, you like your job, it brings you stability, but you want to plan for retirement. Maybe you're better off buying a couple houses per year, whether that's a BRRRR investment, buying, rehabbing, and refinancing. Maybe that's just putting 25% down. But don't get caught up in the gold, chasing the gold and the silver, because again, you just have to decide what you want, and what fits it. You've got time on one side, money on the other. And if you're cash heavy and time poor, then use that cash to buy back your time. But if you have a lot of time, use that time to get some cash to buy your time back.
Well, I appreciate the feedback. I think, a lot of folks will say, you've got to go wholesaling, you've got to go multifamily. And, to be able to tailor it to you, you mentioned, if you're a doctor, wholesaling is just going to be exchanging your time for money as well, potentially. It is no one size fits all solution, but I do believe that there's a spot in real estate for everybody, whether you want to go higher risk, higher time commitment, lower time commitment. We are coming up on time here, though. Ellie, where can folks go to learn more about what you have going on, as well as maybe discuss a deal that they may have in the Chicagoland area?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook group. We got about 20,000 people in that. That's a great way to kind of find out what's going on in the Chicago market if you're just looking to poke around. Otherwise, my Instagram's great. It's ELIG_OG. That's where I'm just posting different stuff I'm doing, posting deals I have. If you have a JV deal, that's a great place to DM me. And just posting a lot of stuff there. And then I got a monthly meetup. We're taking some time off because my partner's having a baby, my sister's having a baby, and I'm getting married. But we meet first Tuesday of the month in Chicago. You can find out more about that. Same thing, Facebook group, IG, or IllinoisBestWholesaleDeals.com /meetup. So there's really a lot of ways to get a hold of me. If you really want to get a hold of me, I'm pretty responsive.
Ellie, thank you so much for coming on the show here today.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.